Hi folks, the guest this time for Rockposer.com is a gentleman who handles the vocals for a fantastic band which I know some of you and a lot more of you are going to be familiar with, and that of course is Nestor. The gentleman in question, Tobias Gustavsson, welcome to Rockposer.com.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Well, where shall we start? I guess by asking the question, what took you so long to get the album out, seeing as, you know, a lot of people don't realize Nestor was about in one form or another some years ago. What was the catalyst to release the album last year?
Well, the thing is, yeah, you're totally right. We actually started playing together when we were only like 14 years old, back in '89. Then, and we released actually a couple of EPs, do you say that? Like four EPs. And then we kind of broke up the band like in '95, and then we all went to different, you know, some went to high school or whatever, and I kept on going with music, but we always stayed in touch. So a couple of years back, we started to talk, you know, we always been talking, sending stuff, and I had a couple of different bands during the time, and the guitarist Johnny was a part of those bands as well. So we kind of had always have had a quite close connection within the guys. And then a couple of, when the pandemic hit, actually, it was like, I was sitting back home, I playing the piano, and for some reason all the songs that I started to play was like, you know, all these 80s songs, like I just died in your arms tonight. It was all about the 80s, and I was like, I wonder how that is. You know, I listened to a lot of different stuff, but then I just realized that it might be an after construction, that I think when the world is shaky, you kind of look for something familiar and safe, and then I just realized that for some reason that, I should really make an 80s album, and wouldn't it be great to make that album with Nestor that we never had the chance, skills, or possibility to do back in '89, and do it now? And then in the beginning it was like, we don't care if anyone else likes it, but if we love it, wouldn't that be nice? And then of course we will have a chance to hang out and, you know, all that. So I don't know if I answered your question, but that was the reason why we got back together. And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, this sounds great.
No, that's a perfect answer. I could say, are you guys, were you shocked or surprised at the reaction to the album? And obviously, you know, first of all, there was hints of what was coming out, then the first video, and everyone was like, wow. Were you surprised that, you know, because I guess some people think, oh, you know, it's a bit retro, yet others, I mean, I like lots of different things, but I still love my 80s stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have to say, in a way, we were kind of surprised. But to be honest, in a way, I was surprised. Hang on. You don't have to hang on. I should just have... One of my cats is going nuts on one of my children's rucksacks, so you have to go out. Get out, you two. Go out, go out. Out. Sorry, Dan.
That's okay.
Hopefully we can edit that later. It's like, no, but what I was going to say was that we were surprised in a way, but before we released On the Run and the video turned out that great and all that, I had a kind of a gut feeling that I like it a lot, and I, as I normally do, I send it around to a lot of friends, you know, that usually, and all of them were like, what the fuck, this is great, I love it. So I had a kind of a gut feeling that this could actually be, you know, great in a way, but we were surprised. We were super lucky with, and we are super lucky with the feedback we got so far.
So how did the hookup with Samantha Fox come about?
Well, it was basically me. I was sitting there working on the song Tomorrow. I wrote that quite early in the process. So that song was already in the bank, so to speak. And I had an idea when I wrote it that it's like a 6 to 8 bar thing. So it's kind of made to be a duet, in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
So I said to the other guys in the band that it would be great to have a female singer on this one, like a duet. And we brainstormed a little bit, and everyone felt that Lita Ford would be great. She was like a huge hero back in the day. And I actually tried to contact her first, but I wasn't successful. So I never got a reply back from the management. And then, you know, so we kind of let that song linger a little bit. We knew that it was going to be on the album, but we'll let it be for a while. And then I was working on another song on the album called Perfect 10, Eyes Like Demi Moore. And when I did that, I was like kind of mentally going through my, do you say boy room, you know, where I go at my parents' house, and what posters were there on the walls and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I was with the crew, and I was like, of course, you know, Van Halen, and it was Demi Moore, and it was Samantha Fox, and it was Samantha Fox. It was, that's how it started. So and for me, and I guess that goes for you as well, even though she had a lot of different skills, Samantha, of course, but still she's well connected with the 80s. And for me, she's really like, I don't know any artist that is so super connected to the 80s as she is. So I just, you know, did Googled around like management, Samantha Fox, and eventually ended up at her with her manager, and just asked him like, hey, my name is Tobbe, and I have this band called Nestor, and we have a single out. The video looks like this. We're super serious, but we're doing this 80s stuff, and we have a little bit of tongue-in-cheek in it. And I think Samantha Fox would be a great feature for the track. And he was like, yeah, but do you have the track? And I was like, yes, here it is. And it only took, I think, 24 hours or a little bit more before she replied and said, I love the song. Let's do it. So
I'll be honest. When I saw, obviously, when the video came out, and I thought it was Samantha Fox, part of me thought, okay, I know Samantha Fox from the original reason she got famous, and then obviously as a pop singer. And I thought, how's this going to be? And can she still sing okay? You know, is this a joke or is this serious? But as soon as she started singing, no, this is serious. I mean, I guess some people might not realise that she did have connections back in the day with rock music. I mean, she went out with Paul Stanley for a while back in the late 80s. So, you know, she wasn't all about being a pop princess.
No. And she was good friends with Lemmy, and, you know, she had that kind of, and you could hear that in her voice, actually, even though the old productions are really polished and everything, you could hear that she has that kind of grittiness, if you say that, into her voice. But it was great. It turned out great, and we're super happy with the result, and she was lovely, and it was great.
I got some info through that Napalm Records, obviously who you're now signed to, and congratulations for that. There's a enhanced deluxe version of the album, of course, Kids in the Ghost Town, is coming out later in the year. Can you let me know what's the difference going to be from the standard album? Well,
there's going to be 3 new songs.
Okay.
And actually, I don't know if I don't mind, and I would love to tell you that. The thing is that we're releasing a new single and a new video with just in a month's time. So the first single is called, this one around is called Sign in Blood. So it's going to be a new single. And so it's going to be, in a way, it's the same album, but 3 new songs that is in the same kind of vein as the other ones. And then there might even be another like B-side thing as well. But this is the plan. And I think the reason for it was that we came to a point where a really nice point to come to is that we couldn't handle everything on our own, and then we will kind of went shopping for a label, and Napalm turned out to be, a great option, and they got the vision and ambition and all that. And then when we start talking about it, they said that, but this album is already released, can we do a relaunch of it, and can we write some new songs and all that. So I think they want to be the ones to announce it, but still, for you, it's like 3 new songs, and it's going to be released later this year.
Looking forward to those. I mean, considering, you weren't on a major label or a known label or anything when the album came out, I mean, what you guys have managed to achieve is pretty impressive, I have to say.
Thank you. Thanks.
And talking of impressive achievements, again, another congratulations, nomination for Swedish Grammys in the hard rock and metal category. Well done for that.
Thank you.
And when are they taking place?
It's the gala night is like on the 19th of May, somewhere in mid-May. So no, but that's going to be great. And I think I did a couple of interviews yesterday when it was out in Sweden that we were nominated for this Grammy, and the question I got was like, how does it feel? And it's really a kind of a way of saying that you did something good, and for the business, it's a business thing, and for us it's great, but still it's like the thing that makes a difference is the people that comes to our shows. So it's great to be Grammy nominated, but the feedback we got from our fans and the people coming to our shows, that's much more of a, you've been doing great. You're doing great, basically.
I mean, obviously Sweden, the way that they treat hard rock and melodic rock, is obviously, a lot better than a lot of countries these days. I mean, it's a standing joke how many bands Sweden, spits out. I mean, it's incredible. And, let's face it, they're basically all good bands or excellent bands. I mean, this is not normal.
I guess it's the whole, the music wonder of Sweden with ABBA and all that from the beginning in Europe and Roxette and whatever. We have that kind of tradition in a way, but I think it's amazing. I've been in this business for a long, long time, and it hasn't been, music has always been created in mass and sold to the world from Sweden, but now I think the last 10 years there's a lot of rock bands like Helicopters, tons of them. Ghost, for example, coming out of Sweden, which is world class kind of thing, which is cool. Yeah.
Well, talking of Swedish bands, you're going out on tour with another band which is an absolute favourite of mine, which is Heat.
Yeah.
In basically a month's time, you're out on the road with them.
Yeah. No, but we have the same what do you call it, the production label. So Chris, our production guy, he called us up. This is way back. That was right after we released the first single and asked us if we want to support them. And then COVID came, and everything was delayed and was delayed. So it feels great to go out and play with these guys. And also the venues are great. It's we're playing in Stockholm, which is our hometown in a way, and Gothenburg and Oslo and Copenhagen. So it's going to be great. And we've been in a way lucky. We've been doing a lot of big shows lately, like we done arenas and stuff like that. And now we're going back to kind of 1,000 people venues, which is like you want that kind of
that energy.
Yeah. So it's going to be it's going to be great. We're looking forward to it.
One thing which I was absolutely gutted about was the fact that you guys were on Monsters of Rock cruise. I've done the cruise 3 times, didn't do it this year. And then suddenly find out you guys are playing. I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You guys must have had an absolute blast, because it is fantastic.
Which was, as you say, it was fantastic. We had a blast, and we were also surprised by, going overseas. And even though we get a lot of emails and, social media reactions and comments and stuff like that from that part of the world, we never thought that there were so many people that knew our songs, and, they had the t-shirts and all that. It was crazy. And the whole, setup, the arrangements, Larry and his guys, they know what they're doing. It's a great cruise and
fantastic. They just really do such a good job. I think what has helped is on previous cruises, obviously Scandinavian bands coming in. The last cruise I did was 2020, which obviously literally finished just before lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
And Heat were on the boat, and I've got to say, certainly a lot of the Americans on the cruise had no idea who Heat were. I mean, I've seen Heat quite a few times, and one of the comments I read, someone said, "Oh, one of the big bands ought to give this band a leg up," saying they've released like 8 albums.
Yeah.
In Europe, all these sort of bands are well known. You guys have got to find out about these bands. So I guess that's why, you guys had an audience who knew your material, because they're making an effort now to look up Shiraz Lane, bands like that have been on the cruise, and I think it's a wake-up call rather than just the standard 10 bands that Larry brings on with a few extras. I mean, it's encouraging. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, but it's great, and it was a fantastic trip. It was great, and I hope we'll be able to come back. It was great. Anyways.
One thing I must say in touring is, you guys have got to get over to the UK. There's certainly a lot of people would really want to see you guys play either on tour or maybe onto one of the festivals, because there are a lot of festivals here now. It's getting busy festival time, and obviously after lockdown, it's all starting up again. It'll be great. Any plans at all to come over here? Yeah,
of course it is. It's like now we just realized that we do a lot of, I think we're up to 30 shows this summer from June till beginning of October. So, but unfortunately so far we haven't been able to book anything in the UK, but we're planning to do a kind of maybe our own tour or a, you know, double headline tour.
Yeah.
In November, and UK is definitely on the map. You know, we would love to come, but it's, as you know, it's more about if someone says like, hey, you want to come and play in the UK? We got 2 shows, and if we can add 2 more shows to that, we're coming. It's a little bit, even though we can do a one-off as well. But if someone invites us, we'll come. I promise you.
Well, I'll make sure that people get nagged and moaned at, because I'm not the only one nagging for it. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed of that. You guys will be over here at some point. If not this year, I'm sure you'll be over next year at some point.
Absolutely.
Final thing that I'm going to ask you. I'm guessing you guys are probably working on a second album. Would I be right? Yeah,
we're doing that in like, as we're doing this, as I told you about, deluxe version with new songs. So the whole thing has started working on new stuff, and at the moment I'm super happy with the new single. So I'm kind of, you know, a little bit worn out when it comes to writing songs. But still, the thing is, when you kind of believe that, or at least I had the idea that when you finished an album and you go out on tour, you do that. But the thing is that these ones are combined. Sounds a bit strange, but when we are out playing, I always get this idea. It's mainly me writing the songs, so I always get new ideas and playing with other bands. And now with Monsters of Rock Cruise, we, you know, saw Alice Cooper, and I got this idea. Yeah, we should really have a song like this and that, and you know. So yeah, we've started mentally. I could say we started to write a new album, and we'll see when that is about to be released. But for now, it's like focusing on releasing this album, new single, and get out and tour, basically. I was going to say, obviously, after, you know, touring with Heat, etc., that's probably going to ignite a bit of a fire, songwriting and whatever, as you just said. So fantastic. I know that's going to get a good reception. I know it is a stock question. I try and avoid them, but I get nagged when people find out who I'm interviewing. Oh, ask them about a new album. Is there a new this? Is there a new that? It's like, well, slow down. You know, it's like, I will ask, but I mean, you know, with some people, they've been asked like 14 times that night from different people, and it's like, oh, not that question again. You know? But that's super fine. We're just super thrilled and happy about people wanting us to release a new album. You know, that people are asking about a new album is just amazing. So yeah, now it's going to be great, and I'm thinking about, you know, I'm going to get more into that during the summer when I'm not out touring. Then I'm going to get more into, okay, what's the next album going to be like? Well, Tobias, it's been an absolute pleasure having you over on rockposer.com. I say, yeah, big fan. I'm going to hold my hand up. Absolutely love the album. Looking forward to the 3 new tracks. I will grab myself a copy of the deluxe edition as well, just to stick in the library. Congratulations on everything to you and the guys. And I say, hopefully at some point I will catch you guys live. Definitely. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much, and thank you, Rockposer. It's an honor to be a part of your show. Thank you.